There are moments in life when your heart notices something before your mind can understand it. A feeling you cannot explain. A thought that keeps returning. A quiet discomfort telling you that something needs your attention. Many times, we ignore these moments because life is busy, because we are trying to stay strong, or because we don't want to believe that something needs to change. But sometimes, what feels like a simple thought is actually a moment of awareness. A gentle invitation from God to look deeper. Your guardian angel is not bringing this message to create fear. He is bringing it to help you recognize what your soul has already been trying to understand. Because not every sign arrives with noise. Some arrive through a feeling. A repeated pattern. A door that no longer feels right. A path that slowly begins to take away your peace. And if this message found you today, perhaps it is because there is something important your heart is ready to see. Not everything that leaves your life is a loss. And not every place you remain is where you are meant to stay. Maybe the answer is not found in what happens around you. Maybe it is revealed in what happens inside you when life becomes difficult. When you feel stuck, what do? Do you try harder to hold on? Do you search for reasons to stay? Do you ignore your own feelings and keep moving as if nothing is wrong? Or do you look for distractions just to avoid facing what your heart already knows? These reactions are not random. They reveal the places where your emotions are still connected. Sometimes, God allows certain moments to repeat, not to punish you, but to help you finally recognize what has been controlling your decisions. Because the greatest lesson is not always hidden in the challenge itself. Sometimes, it is hidden in the way that challenge changes you. And there is something your guardian angel wants you to understand. Many times, the reason you remain in places that no longer serve you is not because you lack strength. It is because you carry qualities that are truly beautiful. Your loyalty, your compassion, your patience, your ability to believe in people, your desire to see things get better. These are gifts. But even a gift can become heavy when it is placed somewhere that no longer honors it. Because some people don't stay because they are weak. They stay because they have a heart that refuses to give up easily. They stay because they care. Because they remember the good moments. Because leaving feels like admitting that something they valued has reached its end. But perhaps your guardian angel wants you to see a deeper truth. Walking away does not mean your love was meaningless. It means you are finally learning that your kindness should also include yourself. Your heart was never meant to become a place where you constantly sacrifice your own peace. And maybe the problem was never that you lacked the courage to leave. Maybe you were simply waiting for the moment when you finally understood that your peace also matters. Perhaps it's because the part of you that always knew how to stay has been praised your entire life. And there's a reason your guardian angel is reminding you of this right now. Perhaps what you're looking for isn't another sign, but the courage to trust what God has already placed in your heart. There comes a moment when you must be completely honest with yourself. You're not always waiting for another sign because you need more answers. Sometimes you're waiting because you want permission to believe what, deep down, you already know. Your guardian angel sees this. He knows your heart already recognizes when a season has come to an end. You feel it when your peace begins to disappear. When your mind keeps returning to the same truth. When your body can no longer find rest. When imagining your future there makes your life feel smaller. In those moments, your guardian angel often stops sending new signs. Instead, he begins strengthening you. Because the warnings have already been enough. The pattern has already spoken. That quiet feeling that keeps returning has already told you everything you need to know. Sometimes your guardian angel doesn't repeat the warning. He simply waits to see whether you'll have the courage to trust what has already been revealed to your heart. If you're still listening to this message, perhaps it's because your guardian angel still wants to protect you from a mistake that could cost you far more than you realize. There is a quiet lie many people tell themselves. I'll deal with it later. Perhaps you really can leave later. But the cost almost never stays the same. There were decisions that, not long ago, would have required only one difficult conversation, one small change, one honest decision, a few days of uncertainty. But the longer you wait, the greater the cost becomes. Now, perhaps it's your peace that needs to be restored, your energy, your emotional well-being, even the parts of yourself that were left behind along the way. Your guardian angel doesn't want to frighten you. He simply wants to keep you from paying an even greater price for a decision that, deep down, your heart already knows. Leaving early may feel uncomfortable, but waiting too long is often far more painful. Before we continue, your guardian angel wants to share one final piece of advice. It's a simple truth, yet it has the power to transform the way you face the days ahead. There is one habit that keeps far more people trapped than a lack of ability ever could. It's the habit of waiting until you feel like taking action. Many people don't stay stuck because they don't know what to do. They stay because they believe that one day they'll wake up completely ready. Waiting for the perfect courage, the perfect moment, the perfect motivation. The day when everything finally feels easy. But your guardian angel wants to remind you of something important. Courage almost always comes after the first step, not before it. You don't have to feel ready before you begin. Sometimes all you need to do is trust that God and your guardian angel are walking beside you as you take your next step. And perhaps this is exactly where so many people become confused. Because that feeling of motivation never arrives, they assume the time hasn't come. But your guardian angel wants to remind you of something very important. Perhaps God isn't asking you to wait until you feel motivated. Perhaps He's teaching you to keep walking even when motivation never comes. Because motivation is temporary. It shows up when everything feels exciting. But it often disappears when the real challenges begin. Discipline is different. It keeps opening the door, even when your emotions remain silent. Perhaps the life you've been praying for no longer needs more inspiration. Perhaps it's simply waiting for one decision that you continue making every day, even when no one applauds you. And perhaps what you truly need to leave behind isn't a person, or a place, or a situation. Perhaps it's the belief that you must feel strong before taking the first step. If you've made it this far, there is one more truth your guardian angel wants to place in your heart. Because many people spend years trapped simply because they don't understand the difference between two things that seem the same, but aren't. Most people confuse leaving with giving up. And that's exactly why they remain where they no longer belong. In their hearts, walking away feels like failure. Like they weren't strong enough, patient enough, spiritual enough, committed enough. But that isn't always true. Sometimes, leaving isn't giving up. Sometimes, leaving simply means the lesson has come to an end. And that moment doesn't always come with pain, conflict, or a dramatic ending. Sometimes, everything looks calm on the outside. And that's exactly why you begin to doubt what your heart is telling you. But your spirit knows when a season has already fulfilled its purpose. Maybe it taught you patience. Maybe it revealed your limits. Maybe it showed you what you never want to experience again. When the lesson is complete, staying is no longer loyalty. Sometimes, it is only delaying the next chapter God has prepared for you. So ask yourself, are you really giving up? Or are you trying to remain in a place your soul has already outgrown? Because change is not always a loss. Many times, what feels like an ending is actually the beginning of something greater. God can transform closed doors into new paths. And there is something many people fail to realize. The greatest cost of staying where you no longer belong is not always the pain you feel. It's the opportunities you never recognize. The dreams that never had space to grow. The people you never met. The version of yourself you never became. Because while you hold on to what has already ended, life continues moving forward. And every decision to stay is also a decision to delay something new. Staying is a choice. Waiting is also a choice. Choosing to remain in a place your soul has already outgrown is still a choice. Even when it feels like you're doing nothing, you are still choosing. Your guardian angel is not sharing this message to frighten you. He is sharing it because he wants to protect the future God has prepared for your life. Maybe this warning is not about a tragedy. Maybe it's about a future you cannot see yet. A future with more peace, more clarity, more confidence, more space to become the person God created you to be. That's why your heart sometimes feels urgency even when everything around you seems calm. Your mind looks for visible dangers, but your soul senses what your eyes cannot yet see. Because some losses don't break your heart. They simply prevent a beautiful future from ever unfolding. This message is not telling you to abandon every challenge. It is reminding you that staying in the wrong place can also have a price. Sometimes, what feels comfortable is quietly limiting the life God wants to give you. So if your heart keeps telling you that your world is becoming smaller, pay attention. If every thought of staying takes away your peace, pay attention. If you feel something greater is trying to reach you, but you remain trapped in the same cycle, pay attention. Perhaps your guardian angel is not protecting you from a disaster. Perhaps he is protecting you from slowly drifting away from the life God has prepared for you. And there is one more thing you must understand. Sometimes it is not only people, habits, or memories that keep us stuck. Sometimes it is the environment around us. A place can carry reminders of an old version of yourself. A room, a house, a workplace, or even a simple corner can awaken emotions connected to past pain, fear, or limitations. And many people ignore this because everything appears normal. They think, maybe it's just in my head. But your body remembers what your heart has experienced. It remembers repeated thoughts, repeated worries, repeated disappointments, repeated moments when you felt close to change, but never took the step forward. Sometimes you leave a place for a while, and only then you realize how heavy it was making you feel. And suddenly, your mind begins to breathe again. What once seemed impossible suddenly becomes clear. Not because God changed everything in a single afternoon, but because, for a little while, you stepped away from the environment that kept reminding you of who you used to be. Some places don't keep you trapped because of their walls. They keep you trapped because they make the old version of you feel normal. And perhaps that's exactly what's happening. You're trying to make new decisions. Yet you're still surrounded by the same cues that taught your mind to repeat the old ones. You're trying to think differently. But you're remaining in the same environment that strengthened those thoughts for so long. Then you wonder why you can't break the cycle. When, in reality, the cycle is being reinforced every time you return to the place where it began. This doesn't mean God is asking you to abandon your entire life. Nor does it mean you need to make drastic changes overnight. Sometimes, all it takes is a walk. Sometimes, it's working somewhere else for a few hours. A different place to pray. A different place to read. A different place to think. A different place to begin your day. Small changes can create the space your spirit needs to see answers that once seemed hidden. Because God created your mind with incredible power. And it works through association. It connects places with feelings, spaces with memories, environments with older versions of who you used to be. So if you keep returning to the same surroundings, don't be surprised if the same thoughts are waiting for you there. Sometimes, creating distance doesn't mean running away. Sometimes, distance is simply the first deep breath of peace you've taken in a long time. If your guardian angel has been placing the desire in your heart to step away from a certain environment for a while, don't immediately assume you have to do something dramatic. Perhaps he's simply inviting you to interrupt the pattern long enough to hear your own heart again. Because sometimes the problem isn't that you've lost your clarity. It's that you're still trying to find it in the very place where you lost it. If you've made it this far, there is one final truth your guardian angel wants to place in your heart. Perhaps it's the most important message of all. The only thing God and your guardian angel are asking of you right now is honesty. Not panic. Not an impulsive decision. Not a perfect plan. Not an explanation that convinces everyone else. Just honesty. The honesty to recognize what has already fulfilled its purpose in your life. Because this is where so many people struggle. They believe that moving forward means all the love was wasted. That every sacrifice meant nothing. But that simply isn't true. Something may have been deeply important to you, and still not belong in your future. You can be grateful for everything that chapter taught you, while recognizing you are no longer meant to remain there. You can honor your past, without living there forever. You can carry the wisdom, without carrying the weight. Some experiences come into our lives to transform us, not to stay forever. They strengthen our faith, sharpen our discernment, reveal what truly matters. They show us where we waited too long, feared too much, or held on to something that was never meant to last. And once that lesson is complete, staying no longer proves faithfulness. It only increases the price you continue to pay. Leaving doesn't erase what that chapter meant. It proves you finally understood why it was part of your journey. And perhaps that is the message your guardian angel wants you to hear today. He isn't trying to take something away from you. He's trying to free your hands. Because God cannot place something new into hands that are still holding on to what has already fulfilled its purpose. That doesn't mean the next step will be easy. The greatest changes often feel unfamiliar. They make you question yourself. Wonder if you're overreacting, being selfish, impatient, or ungrateful. But discomfort isn't always a sign you're on the wrong path. Sometimes, it's simply the feeling of letting go of what you've survived for far too long. That's why your guardian angel doesn't always send one dramatic sign. Instead, he gently brings the same truth back to your heart, again and again, until you stop pretending you haven't heard it. It appears when your excitement begins to fade, when imagining your future there makes your hope feel smaller, when your peace changes the moment you think about leaving, when your soul carries a weariness your body cannot explain. Not because you're weak, but because, deep down, you already know you're holding on to something whose season has come to an end. But because, deep down, you already know you're still negotiating with something whose season has already ended. The truth doesn't become any truer simply because you wait longer to accept it. So perhaps God isn't asking you to have all the answers today. Perhaps He's simply asking you to stop ignoring the answer He has already placed within your heart. You don't need to know every detail about tomorrow. You don't need to justify your decisions to people who will never walk your journey. And you don't have to become completely fearless before taking the first step. If you've stayed with me until this moment, I believe your guardian angel had a very special purpose in bringing this message to you. Perhaps some of these words touched a part of your heart you've been trying to silence. If they did, don't use this message to judge yourself. Use it to become more honest with yourself. The greatest changes rarely begin with one dramatic event. They begin the moment you stop denying what God has already revealed to your heart. Then comes one small step. Then another. And before you realize it, you discover you were never as trapped as you thought. So wherever you are right now, be patient with yourself. But don't ignore what your guardian angel has just revealed to you. God isn't trying to destroy your life. He's trying to restore the part of you that remained hidden while you kept holding on to a place where your purpose had already been fulfilled. There are still doors waiting to open for you. There are still blessings that have yet to arrive. There are still new paths God has prepared for your life. And with the help of your guardian angel, you can walk toward them, one step at a time.